All right, guys, welcome to another live stream. Welcome to another live stream. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. All right, so in today's live stream, we'll go over the market. We'll see where the market is at and play a few games of chess. So let's start with crypto because that's the favorite. That's always the favorite sector to go over. Okay, so overall, it looks like the crypto market is. I mean, Bitcoin's up. Bitcoin's at 91,239. The altcoins, if you if you tuned in for my last live stream yesterday, the altcoins did really well over the weekend, specifically AI coins. They did really well. So this morning I did see a sell off. I did see that that across the board, altcoins were down. Now it looks like Bitcoin bounced a little bit back up, currently at 91, but altcoins were down. But yeah, and that usually happens too. I pay attention to a few AI coins, and it's usually if they pump over the weekend, they usually have that typical sell off on Monday because again, there's not much liquidity over the weekend, so it's easy to pump it up. And usually that pump is not a sustained, it's not sustained volume. It's not something that can carry on to the week unless there's a catalyst for that specific altcoin, right? Hey, what's up, Money Shifts? Google hit 4 trillion today. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, they were pretty close. Google, I think Google was probably sitting at what, like 3.5, 3.6, I think. But yeah, I mean, that Google is going to be in the with the Nvidias right now. I think Nvidia is over 4 trillion. I think Tesla will probably be in that category as well. They're saying with the robotics that, but I think Tesla's going to be releasing the Optimus robot, and they're saying with that it's going to really take Tesla to a whole nother level. And then also the FSD, they're piloting the FSD with Tesla. Yeah, it's out, but full self driving. They're practicing in places like Austin, California, and things like that. So once that really becomes a thing where you don't have to drive yourself and the Tesla's just doing all the work, then I think Tesla's going to really see a price increase and it's going to hit that $4 trillion market cap, in my opinion. So April was a blessing, bro. I bought everything during the sell-off and hell of Google. You're talking about April of last year. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember April of last year, but there were a few opportunities last year where you can get a lot of things on discount. I mean, I think you still currently could get stuff on discount, specifically the crypto market, because, and if you're in altcoins, like those took a significant dive. And if you know about the space, if you do your research and you know the good projects out there, you were able to pick up some good projects for the cheap, for the low. Google, I'm not sure how far Google went down. Maybe it was in. Let's check it actually. Let's take a look at Google really quick. Google stock. Okay, so stay signed out. Okay, so you said you bought in April. I think Tesla would be better without Elon. Yeah, he's like the brains of it, but the political stuff and all the stuff that he does, I think it really took a hit. Obviously, it bounced back, right? But if you remember, when he was doing the Doge stuff and things like that, the price of the stock took a hit, but then it bounced back because they were talking about the FSD and rollout and things like, which is still hasn't been delivered. But I mean, he has taken the company to trillions of dollars. So I'm not sure, and I'm not sure. I mean, obviously he has his involvement, but I'm pretty sure that there's a bunch of engineers that are doing the bulk of the work. So I'm not sure if he left the company, if it would be positive. I think people hold him to such a high standard, and they think, and not that they think, he is the brains of the company. So it would be, I don't know if Tesla, the stock price would do good. I think people would probably sell off a lot because Elon is kind of the face of it. And even if there's engineers doing all the work on the back end, they believe he's kind of steering the ship and making those big decisions. So went to 140 at lowest. I think Tesla's way overinflated, to be honest, but I won't be surprised if it keeps going up. Yeah, the thing about Tesla, so I think it's sitting at 1.4, 1.5 trillion, maybe a little bit lower or higher. But what we're seeing is we've always seen this with market cap. Like a couple years ago, $1 trillion market cap was not heard of. Okay. It was just recently where I forget which company, I think it was Apple that hit that $1 trillion mark first. And then now we're starting to see multiple $1 trillion market caps. So the fact that Tesla's at 1.4 and now we have Google at 4 trillion, we have Nvidia at 4 trillion, we have whatever Apple's at. I think it's just I think now that market caps is becoming the normal thing for us to see a $4 or $5 trillion market cap, and the fact that Tesla's in that robotic space and they're kind of the leaders in that space, I think it's going to hit 4 trillion. I think it is going to continue to go up. But so to get back to the Google, you said in April of last year, 2025. So it's around 153. So it's around double your money. So that's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think you can lose with Google, Nvidia, Tesla over the long term. Obviously, over a year, you're most likely going to get appreciation. If we don't have a recession or something like that, most likely you get a appreciation on the stock. But I mean, that's pretty good. Double your money. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's see if there's anything else. So we said crypto was kind of in that consolidating state where Bitcoin's around 90 to 91,000, and then altcoins sold off a little bit, but they did gain a lot over the weekend. So yeah, I think we're really not up or down. We're kind of right there in the middle. So let's see kind of the summary today. It says equities closed last week near all-time highs, led by sector breadth and strong labor data. Bitcoin and Ethereum posted modest gains. Yeah, not much. Again, we're expecting the CPI data and the PPI data to come out this week. So that's going to be very important for it's not I don't think it's going to change the fact if we get a rate cut or not. But it's good. It'll definitely move the percentage. If you remember from my live stream yesterday, it was at 4.4%. Prior to that, it was at 16%, around 14 to 16%, and then it dropped all the way down to 4%. And I'm talking about the probability that we get a rate cut. It's going to be, we're not going to get it. Some interesting stuff that came out. It looks like some criminal allegations have been put against Jerome Powell for, I forget for what, but I think it had something to do with the renovations, with something where the Fed resides. So I'm not sure about that, but apparently if he ends up getting fired early, because remember he's supposed to leave the Fed in May. So if he ends up leaving a lot earlier, I think that's going to be bullish for the market because anybody that comes in is going to be pro rate cuts because the administration is going to be putting that. Okay. So yeah, so that was that. So we're waiting on CPI, PPI data this month. And then the Clarity Act too. So apparently the Senate is supposed to vote on the Clarity Act on the 15th. So that's this week. So if that passes, that's going to be very positive for crypto. So it's a big week for crypto. Okay, the CPI, PPI data is going to affect it, the Clarity Act decision, and then also the tariffs as well. The administration's tariffs are going to be voted on, I think, today or tomorrow. It's one of the two. I don't think it's today. Trying to be a baby because Jerome won't give him. Yeah, I mean, he definitely wants rates down. He wants rates down. And for me, from what I could see, Jerome Powell's using the data. Again, they said something about. I remember the Bureau of Labor Statistics weren't giving out, or the administration Trump wasn't happy with the Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers, and that person ended up getting fired, and they put somebody else in, and all of a sudden, the numbers are favoring what he wants. And then the same thing for the Fed, right? He wants interest rates down. And to be honest, we had three rate cuts back to back. So I'm not sure if he wants a rate cut every month. Maybe that's what it is. But I think obviously we're going into a midterm year. So they want the market to look really good. So that's why everybody is expecting this year to be very positive for the market. It's midterm elections. You know, whoever's in office wants the market to look good. So they're going to do whatever. If you heard over the weekend, even Trump had said something about 10% interest cap on credit cards or something like that. So they're coming out with everything to bring more liquidity in the market, and that's what you see. Well, especially when it comes to elections, they do anything possible to make it look like the economy is doing really well. So, yeah. Okay, and I think that's pretty much the update. Let's play some chess. I'll play a few games. I got my score to over 1,300 for Blitz. I'm still at 1,500 for Rapid. I haven't been playing any Rapid games because I'm just focusing on Blitz. So 1330, pretty happy about that. And the goal for this year is to get it to 1,500. And yeah, I think we could do that. I mean, I was close to 1,500 with Blitz before, so I don't think it's going to take me that long. I just can't overplay, and I need to pay attention, right, to things. Do you think Democrats will win the midterms based on how Trump's approval rating looks? I'm not sure. I'm not political. I'm not for either side. I'll probably, from each side, I probably agree with certain things from each side, but who knows? It looks like Elon. I'm not sure if you've been watching or if you have an X account, but it looks like Elon is back to supporting the administration. Because remember, they had a fallout with Doge and all that stuff, and again, they got back together, and he's putting money behind it. And I don't know if you've seen, but Elon's net worth has skyrocketed to 750 billion, and that's what I've seen when it comes to politics is really who has the most money to pay for promotion and pay for marketing. So it just depends. Democrats do have a lot of money too. They have a lot of donors, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's going to win the midterms. I usually don't pay attention to it. I mean, I pay attention to the results, but not the whole process leading up to it. But it'll be interesting to see. I know people are for both sides, and it's just going to see who has the most money, who has the most impact. I could say too, again, with X, I think X, the platform, has played a big role in the last election, and you know who owns X, Elon. So I think social media, large marketing, large social platforms are playing a big role in elections in a big way, because now people can persuade people. If they have people with millions of followers, they can persuade them, and it's either or. It's like if you go on X, it's either. I mean, I wouldn't say you have people in the middle, but then you have those people are just to the right, far right, and then far left, or maybe they have views in the middle. But it's going to be interesting to see. All I know is from a financial perspective, it's good for us because they want to make the market look good. And that's for either side. That's for Democrats or Republicans. It's either whoever's running for office, they want that market to, whoever's in office currently wants that market to look good. So that way they can point to, okay, I did this, or the market has been looking good since I've been in office, and so on and so forth. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, billionaires are a little weird. With all that money, this is why too. My goal is to, at most, cap myself like at 20 to 30 million. Like that's kind of my overall goal. Like by the time I'm maybe late 40s, have a maximum net worth of 20 to 30, because I feel like if you just go over that, you have that much money, like you said, you get weird and stuff like that. So you want enough to have fun, but not too much fun. All right, so let me start this game of chess, and yeah, I might do two or three. So let's see. And hopefully my mic is working. Can you confirm that my mic is working? Not the audio, because not you can't not that you could just hear me, but does it sound like a mic is on? Okay. Yeah, it sounds good. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, because I have to go out and log into YouTube on my phone to see if the mic is working, because sometimes it's just ridiculous. Okay, what's going on there? You know what? I'm gonna do this, and then I will do that. Let's do this. All right, cool. Yeah, send a friend request. I'll accept. All right. Is that a? Oh, he took a pawn. Okay. Let's do that. And let's do this. Oh, that was just a blunder right there. You see? All right. Can I salvage this though? Um, I think I can salvage this. Surprisingly. Maybe moves it over. I think I could salvage this. Oh, crap. Ugh. Darn it. I screwed up there. Got penetrations if you don't trade. Yeah, I was running out of room. My mouse was like, I was like, had notebooks and the mouse was getting stuck. All right, if you want to play one, we can play one. Just send me a blitz because I'm not going to play rapid. So just send me a blitz. Yeah, I almost beat him though. For some reason, I was up a rook, and I'm not sure how. I think I took one of his rooks or something like that. We traded it off, so I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a close one. I was up on time. I should have won. He just had more pawns, and yeah. Yeah, it was a close one. I'm not sure what happened there. All right, did you send a blitz request? All right, where is it at? Why don't I? Oh, right here. All right, perfect. All right. Checkmate. Good game, man. Good game. All right. That was my last one of the day. You played pretty good for 1090. What is your rapid? That was pretty good. Oh, I gotta accept your friend request. I accept it. Okay, so 1412. So you're pretty good at rapid. I couldn't figure out how to attack. Yeah, so me neither. I was just again that was a timing thing for me too. Like I saw. Let's go back to the game really quick. We could just review it really quick. So let's just review up, up. Let's just go all the way to the end here. I want to go to that 40-second. Where's the 40-second here? It's just kind of like moving back and forth, trying to figure stuff out. And where do we get? We get to the 40-second mark. Okay, so 56 seconds. So here I was going to promote, but then I was like watching out. But I felt like I was pretty secure here because you couldn't do any checks and things like that. My rook was protected, so I was trying to promote here. But then you move this down, and it says it's a blunder because I get a free pawn, which is, I think they're talking about f7. And I moved my queen back because I was like, I'm going to go grab this pawn while you focus on this pawn over here. So I took this. This is another free pawn at C whatever that was, C7, and I dropped 300 elo the last week in blitz. Yeah, I mean, if you get addicted to playing blitz, you'll play like 40 games without realizing you're losing all of them. So I took that pawn right there, and here I was up 13 seconds. I think you could see I was up 13 seconds. So I was like, you know what? Let me just sacrifice. I can just run down the time. And then from here, you took that pawn. What I was trying to do was bring this bishop to c8 and then attack this rook. But you probably would have moved it over to b6 or c6. But then what did you do here? So you move this over. I was like, whatever. I'll just sacrifice this. And then here, just eat these pawns up. And at this point, I knew I could run this pawn up faster than you could run this d6 pawn down. So I was just like, I just take that and then promote. The only thing was I was running out of time. We were like right here. You were at 17 and I was at 23, but it was still close. And you had this rook, which is still dangerous. Like you would think I'd be able to find a checkmate, but I was also trying to figure out how not to draw the game. Because it's easy to draw the game in positions like this when you have the queen and the opponent doesn't have too many pawns. So. All right, that was a good game though. Appreciate the game. All right, guys. So yeah, the market. So Bitcoin's at 91. Equities. Let me check equities really quick just to see. And then equities actually did pretty good today. So the Nasdaq, New York Stock Exchange, Dow Jones, Apple is up, Starbucks is up. Coinbase is up, Tesla's up. So it looks like equities did pretty well. I mean, altcoins didn't sell off that much. Remember, they pumped really nicely over the weekend. And then Bitcoin's, again, at the 90 range. So, again, we have the Clarity Act this week. Hopefully the Senate passes that. I think it will, and I think it's going to spark a huge rally in crypto. We also have the CPI and PPI data that's coming out. So be on the watch for that. And that's pretty much it. I'm over my time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.